Hi guys, what I'd like you to do is take Freak the Mighty, and I would like you to take a look at the cover. What do you guys think this book is going to be about based on the cover? So take a moment, look at the cover. You can look at the back, you can look at a few pages, just glance. Riley. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you notice? Yes. No, let's have a discussion first, okay? So Tyler, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you read the blurb back here to gain that information. What else do you guys notice? Go ahead, Bowden. Yeah. So they're and how do you say that they're like the same person? Okay, so there's a teamwork kind of element. What else did you see here? Cole, what do you think? What do you notice or see? Anything? Anybody want to jump in and rescue him? Come on, I heard on the last day, like on Thursday or Friday, you guys were phenomenal. Big ideas. Just tell me what you think. Take a shot. There's no right or wrong. Go ahead, Mason. Oh, that Max doesn't have a head. That Max doesn't have a head. That he has the head right here, right? Ooh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. What else do you notice about the artwork besides the two in the middle? What else is there? Cody, what else do you see? Okay. So, well, somebody is holding somebody else, right? What else do you see? Go ahead, Kaylee. There's litter on the ground right here, right? You're looking down at the bottom? Okay. All right, good. Anything else? Go ahead, Sky. It almost does look like he's taller than the clouds, right? You think what? A big boom. Why do you think that? Smoke is coming from something. So it could be clouds, it could be smoke. Okay. Good guesses. All really good guesses. What I would like to do is I'm going to start to do this read aloud. And as I am reading aloud, I want you guys to jot down whatever it is that pops in your head, just like we've been journaling for our books. So it could be questions that you have, it could be comments that you're, things that you notice. A lot of times, a lot of readers walk into a book with questions. So that's probably going to be the one that you use the most. Yes. Yep. Just do bullets. Okay. All right. So here we go. Freak the Mighty. All right. Chapter one. And we're journaling. Chapter one, The Unvanquished Truth. I never had a brain until Freak came along and let me borrow his for a while. And that's the truth. The whole truth. The unvanquished truth is how Freak would say it. And for a long time, it was him who did the talking. Except I had a way of saying things with my fists and my feet, even before we became Freak the Mighty, slaying dragons and fools and walking high above the world. Called me kicker for a time. This was daycare. the year Graham and Grim took me over, and I had a thing about booting anyone who dared to touch me because they were always trying to throw a hug on me like it was medicine I needed. I'm going to stop and give you a moment to write down any thoughts. As a reader, I'm thinking about called me kicker for a time. This was daycare. So he's going back in the past, I'm noticing. Because daycare, you're usually like, what, 3, 4, somewhere around there. Graham and Grim, bless their pointed little heads. They're my mother's people, her parents. And they figured, whoa, better put this little critter with other little critters his own age. Maybe it will improve his temper. Yeah, right. Instead, what happened? I invented games like kickboxing and kick knees and kick faces and kick teachers and kick the other little daycare critters because I knew what a rotten lie that hug stuff was. Oh, I knew. That's when I got my first look at Freak, that year of the phony hugs. He didn't look so different back then. We were all of us pretty small, right? But he wasn't in the playroom with us every day. Just now and then he'd show up, looking sort of fierce, is how I remember him. Except later it was Freak himself who taught me that remembering is a great invention of the mind. And if you try hard enough, you can remember anything, whether it really happened or not. I'm going to give you a moment. For me, if I was journaling, I'd write down that line. I feel like sometimes I wonder if the things I remember were actually accurate. You know what I mean? Like memories from when you're little. Go ahead, write down your thoughts. Mhm. So maybe he really wasn't all that fierce in daycare, except I'm pretty sure he did hit a kid with his crutch once, whacked the little brat pretty good. And for some reason, little Kicker never got around to kicking Freak. Maybe it was those crutches kept me from lashing out at him. Man, those crutches were cool. I wanted a pair for myself. And when little Freak showed up one day with these shiny braces strapped to his crooked legs, metal tubes right up to his hips, why, those were even more cool than crutches. So, what are you guys thinking about? Give me anything that's on your plate. Yep. Okay. Okay, so Tyler's asking about Freak. Why does Freak need crutches? What happened to him that he needs crutches and leg braces? Okay, what else are you guys thinking about? Yeah, go ahead, Bowden. Okay, are the things that we remember actually real? What else are you guys thinking about? Anybody wonder about the phrase her parents? Grim and Graham, they're her parents. Do you know who they are? No, not yet. Let's look at that a little bit more closely. It's on page 1. Grim and Graham, bless their pointed little heads. They're my mother's people, her parents. So who are they? On a family tree, figure it out. Who are they? His grandparents. And that's what you were going to say, Sky, too. His grandparents. So Grim and Graham are grandma and grandpa. But why would he say her people? That's what I wondered about. Page 2, we're down at the bottom. I'm Robot Man. Little Freak would go, making these weird robot noises as he humped himself around the playground. Like he had robot motors inside his legs going, and this look like Don't mess with me, man. Maybe I got a laser cannon hidden inside these leg braces. Smoke a hole right through you. No question, Freak was hooked on robots even back then. This little guy, 2 feet tall, and already he knew what he wanted. Then for a long time, I never saw Freak anymore. One day he just never came back to daycare, and the next thing I remember, I'm like in a third grade or something, and I catch a glimpse of this yellow-haired kid scowling at me from one of those cripple vans. Man, they were death ray eyes. And I think, hey, that's him, the robot boy. And it was like, whoa, because I'd forgotten all about him. Daycare was a blank place in my head, and nobody had called me Kicker for a long time. Mad Max, they were calling me, or Max Factor, or this one butthead in LD class called me MaxiPad until I persuaded him otherwise. Graham and Grim always called me Maxwell, though, which is supposed to be my real name, and sometimes I hated that worst of all. Maxwell. Ugh. Grim, out in the kitchen one night after supper, whispering to Graham, had she noticed how much I was getting to look like him? Which is the way he always talked about my father, who had married his dear departed daughter and produced Eek Eek Maxwell. Grim never says my father's name, just him, like his name is too scary to say. It's more than just the way Maxwell resembles him, Grim says that night in the kitchen. The boy is like him. We'd better watch out. You never know what he might do while we're sleeping, like his father did. And Graham right away shushes him and says, don't ever say that because little pictures have big ears, which makes me run to the mirror to see if my big ears made me look like him. What a butthead, huh? Well, I was a butthead because, like I said, I never had a brain until Freak moved down the street. The summer before 8th grade, right? That's the summer I grew so fast that Grim said we'd best let the boy go barefoot. He's exploding out of his shoes. That barefoot summer when I fell down a lot and the weirdo robot boy with his with his white yellow hair and his weird, fierce eyes moved into the duplex down the block with his beautiful brown-haired mom, the fair Guinevere. Only a falling down goon would think that that was her real name, right? Like I said, are you paying attention here? Because you don't even yet you don't even know yet how he got to be Freak the Mighty, which was pretty cool, even if I say so myself. Okay, so take a few more notes and let's piece this together because there's a whole bunch of information in this chapter that's ginormous. Write down what you think you know, things you want to comment on. Yes. Oh, so you inferred that Max's dad was bad. Where did you get that? Tell the class. Page 3. Are you looking? Go.
Yeah, his name was too scary to say, and then there's something about like when they sleep at night.
Oh, page 4. So basically, if you can't hear Bowden is saying on the bottom of page 3 that there was some really important text. Maxwell was getting to look like him, which is the way they always talked about his father who had married the daughter. Grimm never says father's name, just him. Then Bowden also put together on page 4, he looked at the line, we'd better watch out. You never know what he might do while we're sleeping. Great text evidence. That's awesome. Okay, so Max's dad, there's something funky with him, right? Okay. Anybody else notice anything? What are you guys thinking about? What's bothering you? Bowden says he's kind of looking at the dad. What else? Yeah. Kind of. Okay, so you seem to be focusing on Freak, which is really cool. That Freak disappeared from daycare, and then it wasn't until how old were they later? What, 3rd grade? How old are you in 3rd grade? 8, around there. So in 3rd grade, he saw him again looking at him from a bus, right? From the cripple van. What else did you notice? Come on, guys. So who are the two go ahead, Cody. Okay, Freak moved down the street. Do you know how old he was when that happened? Because there's a big time jump here. 8th grade. So we get a picture of the boys from preschool, right, toddlerhood. Then we go to 3rd grade. He sees Freak. Then Freak moves in down the street, 8th grade. So that's where the story is going to take off. So it's about 8th grade is what? 13, about 13 years old, somewhere around there. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you probably turned 14 around 8th grade. Right. 13, 14. Um, okay. I'm going to stop right there.